Welcome to my channel, guys. It's again Harshit from lovely Professional University, Fagwara, Punjab. And in today's video, we will be learning about conditional statements. We'll know about conditional statements and how to apply them and what are syntaxes. But before all of that, please make sure that you must have prepared all those assignments which I have given to you on the videos, and to those people who are new to this one. So let me just tell you and let me just give you a short recap. So it in this series we are actually learning Python from scratch, and this thing is helping us to actually build a logic, and we are actually learning it from declaring variables to go into the concept of object-oriented programming. So we will be covering that in the future lectures. So if you want to join, you can actually, it's free on YouTube. Just go search for the playlist and you can actually learn every day because I'm posting every day. And every lecture is not more than 1 hour. It's maximum 30 minutes to 45 minutes. It's between that range. So it's short, easy, and you'll be actually getting all those concepts which you are requiring, because there is no extra knowledge which I'm giving you. I'm just getting cut to the point. So just a quick revision from the previous class. In previous class, we learned how can we convert actually type, how can we get multiple inputs, multiple outputs, what are the operators, how many types of operators are there, what every type of operators will be doing. Because in this lecture, we will be requiring that knowledge of operators because we will be working with them a lot. Okay, so let's start for this lecture. So in this lecture, we will be actually covering up the conditional statements. So in Python and in any other languages, there are majorly three conditional statements. First is if, second is else if, and third is else. So what actually it does is that in simple language, if I can explain if and else, so it's easier to understand if and else at the start, and then we'll add else if at the end. Okay, so this example, if I give you an example of an if statement, that then it's more like that of it's not conditional statements. I can say for human nature, I'll say it's decision making. That if this happens, then I'll do this. See, this is that decision making. That if I'll score 90% in my marks, I can play games all the night. That's my decision making. So when we are working with conditional statements, it's more similar to decision making, just like a human. That if this condition gets true, I'll execute this plan, and if this doesn't, then I execute with this plan. And if both of the conditions are not true, then there is a default track on which I'm going. So the default track is actually our else statement. That else statement is a default setting that if any of the condition, every condition fails and there is no outcome of any condition, so then we will execute the else statement. And before that else statement, we will be executing the if statements. Okay. So in the if statement, it's very much simpler. Now if I'll say to someone that I'll say to you that take a variable from user, and not a variable, take a number from user from 1 to 10 and check if it's even. If it's even, print that number, else print it's odd. There will be only two options there. If it's even or if it's odd. So, you will take a number from user, you'll actually module do the modulus by 2 and check if the remainder is 0. So you will just do percentage by 2 equals to 0, because we are not using the equals to sign, just because we are not assigning it, we are comparing its variable. This is the comparison operator I've taught in the last class. If any of you got any issues in that, you can just comment down below. I'll just make another video for that. Okay. So that's our if statement. And if the number is not even, let's say the user gave us the number 7. So 7 percentage by 2 is not actually equals to 0. It will be it will be not equals to 0. It will be either 3.5 or anything like that. So there is there is some remainder out there. So that's what makes it odd. Okay. So then for our if statement, the condition is actually false. So it will skip the if statement and now it will go for the default setting. What is our default setting? That's our else statement. In our else statement, it will say that you can print the number is odd. That's how our if and else statements are actually working. So let me just do a quick program of that. But before that program, let's see what their syntaxes look like. So for their syntaxes, now from here the things are actually getting a bit serious. So let's just keep all our mind in that. See, there are merely three conditional statements. Okay, three conditionals I have already taught you. Those three are if, else, and elif. Okay. There is one concept known as if, elif, else ladder. We'll be using that in many of the questions, many of the problems in the future. Okay. But before that, let's just see the syntax of if. The syntax of the if statement is we'll just use the if keyword. Yeah, if is actually a keyword in Python, so you can't use it as variable. If I'll write if as a variable, there will be an error. Okay, so if is actually a keyword in Python. Okay, we'll write the if keyword. After the if keyword, I'll write the condition. On what condition do I need to check it? That if this condition gets true, my next statement will pass. Then after that condition, I'll just put a colon, and below that colon, I'll just click enter or give a give a tab space, which is called indentation. In Python is actually a language in which indentation matters the most. If your indentation is off by one space, or it's more by two or three spaces, if it's more, it doesn't matter. But if it's off by one space or two space, it will actually give you an error in your code. Indentation error, it will show. Okay. See, just like if I'll just put this statement right here before if. So this says that this statement is not under if. For making it under if, I must put the statement after this after the sequence of these two bars, after the sequence of these two cursors, I have to put the statement right here. That shows that yeah, this statement is actually belonging to our if condition. That if that condition is passing by, then I'll get the statement. Okay, and after that statement, the indentation part is mostly clear to everyone. But for those whose indentation part is not very much clear, I'll just give you one example. If I'll just write print, not print. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. If I'll just write a equals to 10, okay, and then I'll give a indent of one tab and I'll write print a, you know, uh, uh, there's some internet issue, I'll say. So wait, let me just fix it. Okay, guys, so now I have moved my camera a little up, my webcam to a little upside. Okay, because if I'll put it right here, then you guys will not be able to see the code. That's why I'm putting it right up here. So I have actually written a code for if in this if-elif ladder. Okay, so in this code, what's actually happening is there is we are actually writing a code for we are actually writing a code which is consisting of if, elif, and else. So what we are actually doing here is we are actually searching for the insurance part of a person, and the condition is either the person is male or is female, and its age must be greater than or equals to 70 or greater than equals to 60. So now what will happen here if I'll just run this code, you know it will ask my age. I'll put my age as 73, and it will ask male or female. I'll put my gender as male. Okay. So now it's saying you are eligible for insurance. So how it's saying you are eligible for insurance is now my age and gender will be put it here, and it will be checked for with these comparison operators. In the last class we have learned comparison operators. That's what comparison operators are used. So in this the condition is true. In this part, it's also equals to, so the condition is actually true again. So, and we have used an AND operator, logical operator. AND operator makes sure that both of the conditions are true, then our code will be executed easily. You know, After our code is executed from that, then again, we'll just do one thing. Now we'll just actually do what? We'll just check that if these conditions are true, then our output is true, then this statement will be executed. As you can see, this statement is executed. And after this, the code is shut it down. Okay. But if I just again run it and I'll put my age as 78 and gender as female. Okay, sorry. We'll talk about this that why it just gave us that. Yeah. Now it's saying you are eligible for insurance now. You know what happened here is for the age part and first condition, the age got false. Then gender also got false. That's why this block of code didn't execute it. In conditional statements, if the condition is true, then the block of code will be executed. That's why it didn't execute it, and then the conditions got checked here and here. Both of the conditions got true. That's why it has written you are eligible for insurance now. It's that simple. Now if I'll again run this and I'll just put my age as 56 and my gender as male, then sorry, you are not eligible. What happened right now here is both of the conditions got false. So that's why it executed our default block or our else block, which says sorry, you are not eligible. Now we have seen one error right now that even if I'll put my age as 78 and we put a lowercase letter, it's still saying you are not eligible because we have not actually checked for the lowercase ones. We have always checked for the uppercase ones. See, that's what's actually happening right here. You know, so for this thing, it's actually based upon your logic, okay, and your problem solving thing. And that logic and problem solving thing will actually always comes after you guys actually do a lot of codes, a lot of written codes. So that's how we are actually going to be doing in this series, okay? And so this is what if else elif actually works. After this, I'll just give you one assignment. Your assignment will be that you have to actually create a calculator using if, elif, and else. And in that calculator, it must consist the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay. Okay, wait. I haven't put the multiplication there. Multiplication and division. Okay. For this, I'll we'll just see that on the basis of input of use. Okay, I'll just give you one more thing that you will take the output from user. Okay, you will take two outputs from the user, and you will just take one more output from the user, which will be consisting of any of the characters, addition, subtraction. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what will happen then? You have to create your own logic. You will be solving your own problem by your own. So that's what actually makes you help. Okay, so that's all what we are going to learn in this video, guys. And before I end this video, I am saying that I am creating one more video for problem solving. In that problem solving video, guys, we are going to solve 10 to 12 problems of Python from the start till now. And those problem solvings will actually help you build your logic and your problem solving part in the coding languages. What the main thing in the coding languages is it's actually problem solving and your logic building. After you got those two essentials, you can actually remember the syntaxes and actually code in multiple languages. So that's what companies are actually asking for. Companies are asking for a logic, not for a knowledge for that coding language. Okay, and then again, please keep practicing, be practicing, and uh, after you guys practice, you can after you guys run out of questions from your mind, you can go to HackerRank or Lead W3 schools. Okay, and you guys can actually see them in my tab. Okay, so I have put it HackerRank right here, bookmarked, and W3 school right here. So that's what we guys can actually do. And another thing, guys, if you got any issues or you got any problems or you got any issue related to any video, any doubt, you guys can comment down below. I'll be waiting for you guys right now, and every time whenever you guys are commenting, I'll be address that thing, so that we don't actually go out of the way, guys. Okay, so let's just do one more code. In this code, we'll check if the number is true and false. Okay, so now I'll just take a equals to int input enter a number. Okay, and then I'll just put my if a percentage by 2 is equals to 0 colon print even, then I'll just put my else block right here. Okay. And then it's odd. Okay, sorry. I'll just write print odd. You know, now what will happen here is our code will take an input A, and the A input will be divided by 2, and the remainder will be checked because the modulus operator actually checks the remainder. So the remainder will be checked, and if the remainder is equals to 0, our output will be even. If it's not, the condition gets false, so the output will be odd. Okay, so now if I'll run this code, enter a number, I'll just put a random number, okay, and now I'll enter, so it's even. You know why? Because when this code is divided by 2, the remainder is 0. That's why we have got even. But if I'll just do one more time, and now at this moment I'll just put an odd number, so it's getting this. Why? Because when this statement gets false, the this else block gets executed. That's what actually happening right here is. You know, guys, it's pretty easy to understand. If else statements are one of your friends which will be helping you out all over the journey. It will be actually helping you at the end in your end sims or in your certification end part. It will be helping you out, all of you. And guys, please like and comment again. In the comments, you guys can actually ask your problems. I'll be there. So this video will be this long only because it's actually just for if, else, and else if elif concept, because you know this part actually helps you a lot. So that's why I've created a whole segmented video for this one. You know, and for the problem solving video, it will be out there in a few days, 1 or 2 days, because I'll be also working with the third lecture. In your third lecture, there will be loops. We will be talking about loops, for loop and while loop. Okay. And the loops are the one thing, guys, the loops are one thing which actually helps you do the repetitive tasks. Okay. I'll just give you an overview for the loops. The loops are actually one thing which actually helps you do the repetitive tasks. If I'll say write the number from 1 to 1000, you guys, either you guys can write it manually or you guys can do it with the help of loops. And with the help of loops, we can actually create patterns, inverted star patterns, diamond patterns. We can actually create patterns. So that's what we are going to learn in loops. Stay connected with that and stay well, guys. Stay practicing. And I'll be seeing you in the next video for this lecture. Bye bye. Because this lecture is just short related to other lectures, because guys, these three statements will be helping you all around. Okay, so that's why you guys need a sole attention to these statements. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next lecture. Bye bye.